What are you thinking
Tell
about?
me what you're thinking.
Have you ever thought about,
I wonder
Why
why.
is that the way you think it is?
Is that really your opinion?
Shh.
the Thoughts of Thinkers
The
podcast?
Thoughts of Thinkers podcast.
All right. What is up, world? Finally back. I know it's been a while. Long time no see. I guess long time no talk, I should say. Been a lot going on. I apologize in advance. I know that initially I had said I would release a podcast at least every other week, but there's been a lot of things in my life that have been going on recently. So we recorded this episode. This is, by the way, the DMT episode, which hopefully the wait was worth it for anybody out there listening or following. This was my first DMT experience, and a few of my other friends' first DMT experience, which was really great. We recorded this last year sometime, late last year, 2019. Here it is. Shit, I don't even know. What is it? Mid-January. So it's been a little while. Shortly after we recorded this, I ended up moving to a new city. And so that took up a lot of my extra time and energy. For anyone out there who's ever had to move, I'm sure you're aware of just how involved it is. Phone calls, emails, looking for houses, all that kind of fun stuff. So that took up a lot of time. And shortly after I moved, once I got moved into my new place, got my new little podcast studio set up and everything, I ended up breaking my foot. And initially I had thought it was probably just a bad sprain or a dislocation, maybe a small fracture. It turned out to be a lot worse than I had initially thought. And I ended up needing surgery, and I was out for a couple weeks. But I'm finally home. I'm sitting at my computer with a big old cast on my foot. And my crutch is sitting right next to me. So I'm not all the way back yet. It's still going to be a couple months. Plus, I'm going to need some physical therapy and stuff just to get back to walking. So it'll be a while. But the good thing about podcasts is I can do them sitting down. So hopefully I'll be able to record some more podcasts and release some stuff for you guys. So you can expect that. But anyways, this experience was great. It was at my friend Jake's house. It was me, my buddy Jake, another buddy of mine, Hector, my buddy Phill, and another friend of mine, Jordy. And we all got together, had some DMT, and figured, let's do a podcast. Let's record some stuff. We'll all do it our first time. And so that's what we did. And it was pretty interesting. I don't think any of us really broke through. I don't think any of us really went as deep as we could have, I would say. I think all of us kind of just, there wasn't like a ton of DMT, so it wasn't like we could just smoke as much as we wanted to. We were kind of trying to be conservative a little bit with it. That way all of us could kind of have at least some experience. I'm not sure what kind of DMT it was. I know there's like a couple different DMTs, and the effects are a little different depending on how it was made, just the way the chemical compound is. I know there's N-N-DMT and 5-MeO-DMT. And I'm gonna look it up right now to see what the difference is, because I'm not sure which one we had, but it seemed Yeah, so I want to say it was 5-MeO DMT, which is basically just DMT with an. It looks like it's just DMT with an oxygen molecule attached to it, I guess. I'm not a scientist, so please don't take this word as gospel, because you can look it up yourself. But basically, yeah, it was great. A couple of us just had mainly visuals. I know myself and Jordy, we had mainly a visual experience, like a classical psychedelic experience with colors and patterns, geometric shapes, things like that. And then Jake and Phill had more of like a alien abduction type experience, I would call it, where they were kind of in a room, sort of like a hospital room, sort of like the operating room that I was just in a couple weeks ago. So we had slightly different experiences. Also, the doses they were kind of eyeballed. They weren't measured like down to the gram or whatever, but they were kind of eyeballed. So we could have had different doses, but overall, I'd say it was great. My experience was amazing. You'll hear it. So in this episode, kind of what we got going on is I recorded while we were doing it, and I recorded after, and kind of like right after you come out of the DMT, what your thoughts were. Try and articulate it as best as possible. Excuse me. It's not really, I mean, for anyone who knows about DMT, you probably know that it's pretty much impossible to explain. So after DMT, it's not really, after taking DMT, it's really hard to describe what you just experienced, which you'll hear in these recordings coming up. It's almost impossible, and so you hear us a lot trying to articulate it, but it's really not there. So, yeah, the first part of this podcast is going to be us actually doing the DMT, and then our thoughts right afterwards. And then the second part of this podcast, so later that night, me and my good friend Phill, we left and we went back to his house and recorded more of like an actual podcast of me and him. We sat down and we just talked for about an hour or so, I'd say, about our experiences and DMT and all kinds of other stuff. So that'll be the second part of the podcast. And then I initially wanted to do a podcast with all of us. But, just logistically, it's kind of difficult to make that happen. But hopefully I can get back together with those guys now that it's been a couple months, kind of see what we feel about it now. I don't really know how to feel about it now. I think that I just didn't really go as deep as I could have. It's really, really difficult to let go and to go deeper just because of how intense it is. But, yeah, I definitely want to try it again. I definitely want to do it in less of... It was kind of a party setting that we did it in. We had like 6 or 7 people over there. There was alcohol. We were taking some shots. I had drinking a little bit, and it was mostly just for the nerves. I wasn't really trying to get drunk or party or anything. I kind of just wanted a little bit of alcohol to help kill the nerves. I was super anxious. My heart was jumping out of my chest, and my heart rate was through the roof. So I just wanted a couple drinks just to kind of relax and, kill some nerves a little bit. That way I can hopefully try and let go a little more and enjoy the experience. But now that I've done it and kind of crossed the bridge, I think next time I do it, I definitely want to do it in more of a ritualistic type setting. if that makes sense. Like I said, less of a party setting. Maybe just me and 1 to 2 other people that are doing it also. Really quiet. Maybe no music. We did use music for these trips, which kind of helped guide the trip, I guess, a little bit. I know it did for me. The music that we were listening to while I initially tripped was definitely influential in my trip itself. And so maybe next time I want to do it with no music or different music or really, really light music, something less intense. I want to meditate on it. You know what I mean? I just want to do it more of a ritualistic way. So I think next time I do it, it's going to be more like that. More of a spiritual endeavor. But overall, I'd say it was definitely a beneficial experience. I feel like I was so nervous and scared before doing it. And I almost feel like the DMT kind of rewarded me for the courage that I had to do it anyways. Just because after the trip, and you'll hear me talk about it, but I just felt so content, comfortable, happy, proud of myself almost for doing it. I felt really, really connected with everybody that was in the room. I felt like just pure joy and bliss. You know, just think of the happiest, most joyous, blissful you've ever been. And that's kind of my headspace after I came out of the trip. So I want to say that the DMT aliens or the entities or the universe, whatever, kind of rewarded me for the courage that I had to do it, because I was really, really, really nervous. Even the people in the room said that, we could literally see your heart pounding on your chest. So I was scared. I think being scared is a healthy thing, though. It is something you should be scared of, for sure. You'll hear so what I want to do, and you'll hear I'll go ahead and play the first clip, which is Jake, and then I'll probably come back before each of us, and kind of break it down a little bit beforehand so you kind of know what's going on, because it might be a little difficult to follow. So this first clip you're going to hear is Jake. Jake was the guy that owned the house that we were at, and he was the first one to kind of dive into it. So the first time he did it, he just did like a little hit just to kind of get a taste for it, and then he did another one that was a bigger one, which was still kind of just like dipping your toes in, but it was big enough to definitely have some effects. And so you'll hear us get into that. You'll hear us get into, kind of, we were using like a dab rig. I don't know if anyone out there doesn't know what that is. It's basically just, you like heat up a little glass plate thing with a blowtorch, and then you dump the DMT on top of the red hot glass, and that'll vaporize it. And it's better than smoking it. You're not supposed to burn DMT. You're supposed to just vaporize it on like the lowest temperature you can. So that's how we were doing it, kind of like a bong. You'll hear it. It's like a water bong or whatever. So you hear us lighting that up, and then he gets into it. I kind of skip through it because while he's tripping, there's really nothing going on except music playing. You're not really talking. You might be. Some of us were laughing. Some of us were kind of like, "Oh, wow," or saying, "Oh my God," or things like that. Kind of mumbling, grumbling, just kind of making noises and shit. But there's really no talking or any interaction whatsoever. Once you hit it, you kind of just sit back on the couch, close your eyes, or keep them open. Some of us closed them, some of us opened them. It doesn't really matter. Even if your eyes are open, you're not going to be seeing what's in front of you. And then you just kind of sit back on the couch and chill out and enjoy the show for the next 5 to 10 minutes. Most of us, it only lasted like 2 to 3 minutes, I would say, for most of us, which is kind of why I think we didn't really go super deep. It was about a song length, so we had some songs playing, and our trips typically lasted about the length of the song. Once the song ended, it was kind of over for us. So our trips are about 2 to 3 minutes, which is crazy because while it's happening, you don't really have any kind of understanding of time at all. So it's kind of a trip to come back and people say, oh, well, it's only been 2 minutes. So anyways, this is Jake's first trip. He'll get into it a little bit. And I will talk to you right after this clip and get into the next one. Enjoy. All right, so this is going to be our DMT experience, man. We're going to fuck around with some Deems.
Starting off with Jake.
He's going to give it a little fucking... He's going to dip his toes in a little bit, see how it feels.
All right, let me get this hot first.
We are vaping this DMT on a dab rig. All right, here we go. Nice.
Whoa. Definitely, there's a immediate change.
I need some butter to scoop this with.
Whoa. Whoa. Oh. I think the first thing that I want to know is like, was I doing anything like me like what you saw me doing? Like, was I?
You thought you looked way weirder than you actually did.
What you're doing right now is exactly what you were doing the entire time.
Really?
Literally just saying, no, you took a couple deep breaths, you're like, and that's it. That's the only thing you were doing. That's why I turned it off, because I was like, this fool's gone, so I wanted to wait till you came back. How was it? Can you even articulate it right now?
I can definitely. I feel like I can articulate it, but
So your eyes were open the entire time.
were they?
Your eyes were open the entire time. I was almost going to tell you to close your eyes, but I felt like you were gone, so I didn't want to say anything. But your eyes were definitely... You were staring at the TV the entire time.
In my recollection, I felt like my eyes were closed.
Mm-mm. What were you seeing? What were you seeing? How did you feel?
I felt like everything that was in this room right now was like it was like it was a how can you even say it? Like it was a comic book. Like everything like instantly looked like it was a caricature of this whole moment. Like
Right. Well, I don't know if you remember, but as soon as you hit it, as soon as you inhaled, you were like, immediately there's a difference. And then you sat down.
yeah, I sat down and I can tell you like right now like I can tell you like I feel something different, way different right now, but then after that moment it's
Isn't it impossible? Is it impossible to even fucking talk about or what?
I mean,
That's what everybody says.
I don't want to say it's impossible to talk about, but it would sound like gibberish if I were to try to talk about
Can you gibberish it?
I don't.
You're right, dude. I get it, bro. It's all good.
You need more time to put it in perspective.
I am a little bit upset with Hector because I told you to give me the littlest, smallest amount that you give me.
Wasn't that big.
That wasn't. So you didn't like blast off though, did you? Or did you? It sounds like you kind of did.
So I wouldn't call it like I didn't see any other like. There's no other entities. Like I didn't see anything.
Most drugs at once.
Were you still in this room?
Yes, I was in this room.
The most drugs at once.
But it's just like everything that was in front of me was. It looked like a comic book. Like everything was like a caricature of itself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like even if you go to like the boardwalk and somebody like draws a caricature of you and like that's I feel like everything was a caricature of itself in this room.
Fuck.
Man, I feel like if there was somewhere further to go from there, I wouldn't say I would be afraid of it. Because I feel totally fine right now. Like, my heart rate is totally fine. Like, my anxiety's not going anywhere. But, man, I feel like if there's a place that you can go after what I experienced just now, that would, that's a whole fucking thing, dude.
I feel like you literally just dipped your toes. So I feel like there's a lot of fucking places to go.
Do you guys really think so? Like, heck,
But you're
yeah.
not supposed to blast off the first time.
you've done this many times. So like,
I still haven't blasted off though.
you've never gone to like
I've
a
gone to
place
as far- I've gone
outside
to-
of yourself,
I've gone to as far as where have you gone right now?
dude.
I feel like there's still a whole I feel like you just opened the window to the dimension. You didn't even walk into it.
And I can see that. I can definitely say like I didn't feel any panic. Like there's no like, oh, this might be a bad trip. There's nothing along those lines. But I can tell you like, wow, that was a very intense feeling. Something I've never felt before.
Intense in what way? Not like in a panicky way or like
No.
an adrenaline way?
There was no panic. There's no panic. But I can definitely tell you like, I didn't see you here. I didn't see whoever else was in here. Like I didn't see any of that. It was like a caricature of the TV and the song that I chose. Which I'm really glad I chose that song.
I want to do the same thing. I want to do the same song.
Dude, it was very calming. It was very, very calming, but at the same time, like, yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. It is kind of indescribable, but I can definitely say, like, I didn't leave this place. I didn't leave this dimension. Like, I didn't go outside of myself, but it was like a sniper scope on what I was seeing.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, incredibly, like, I had a great time.
You know what's can you guess how long it lasted?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. I don't know. I don't remember when I started the song, but for me, it felt like it was, I don't know.
Like time didn't even exist.
My recollection of the whole thing, it felt like it was eternity. Like it felt like it was at least like 30, 45 minutes. That doesn't feel like the right type of like amount to put on it, but like it felt like I was there for forever.
Well, let me tell you, from the time you inhaled until the time we started talking was about 2 minutes. Maybe a little bit less.
Oh
Yeah.
Dude, that is...
Yeah, because you hit it, and you sat down, and you were quiet, so I paused the recording. I got up to take a shot with Hector, and then you were like, talking about it. So it was literally like a minute and a half, less than 2 minutes, for sure. Yeah.
I'd be really interested. I wish we had a video that I could watch of my face.
Dude, we should try and set up your camera. I'm going to go ahead and pause this. That was actually a really good description of what you
feeling
experienced.
afterglow?
I definitely feel an afterglow.
Yeah. You just feel hella lit or what? Like you just smoked hella weed or how do you feel?
No. It has nothing to do with weed, nothing like that. If I'm being honest, like, I want to do it again.
Fuck yeah, let's do it again.
It's so weird because when I asked you, Hector, to give me the first like baby hit, I felt almost nothing. It was just like a little bit of like a happiness. But man, that second one,
I was just trying to dip your toes in. That's what my goal. That's what
I
my
don't
goal
know.
was
I
with-
don't know.
with
I
this
don't
stupid
know
song.
how I would feel about
Battery's
doing
all
this
retarded.
with
You're gonna get a big hit
a
of
room
DMT
full of
for
like
it.
5 or 6 people.
But the battery
Yeah.
sucks.
I think this is something that like I would love to experience again, but like with maybe two other people that I like really trust.
That's why I really
'Cause-
want to buy some and just have it so I can do it like on my own time, kind of thing. You know.
I would not. I don't think anybody should do that alone. I don't think anybody should
Maybe
do
like
that
one other
alone.
person.
And it's not that I felt like I was endangering myself or anything like that, but I mean, it is so intense, so intense. But like I said, like I'm a person who is very prone to anxiety, and I felt none of that. I felt none of that at all.
That's fucking
As soon
dope.
as I sat back here and I saw the song that like I chose, and just like everything just looked like it was like a comic book.
Yeah.
Like it was like you saw a comic book play out in front of you, and like I didn't even know you were here. I didn't know like if there was somebody over here. I didn't know it.
Mm-hmm.
It
Like
was just,
That sounds
Woo.
fucking amazing.
man, that is a hell of a drug, bro.
And our bodies produce it naturally.
Right? Isn't that the craziest thing? They say you can find DMT in almost anything.
Almost every living thing has
like
DMT.
every
in it.
tree, every root, everything you can find DMT in almost anything.
Do you feel like you're having any profound realizations after that, or do you think you need to go deeper?
No, I would say no. Like that wasn't enough for me to have any profound things. I can say right now I feel great. I feel very upbeat. I feel very.
No
I'm
anxiety,
very
no panic, no.
Yeah,
nothing.
like I told you before, like I was very anxious about trying this.
Yeah.
And I feel none of that. I feel none of that anymore.
Yeah, dude.
None of that at all. I feel like I'm super glad my friend Dave's here. He walked in the middle. That made it kind of weird. But Hector's here,
Hell
and
yeah.
you're here, and like I'm feeling great about it, dude.
Fuck yeah.
I'm feeling fucking great about it. Man, I'm actually like I'm really excited to hear just that like I was so afraid before because of my tendencies for anxiety, but I feel none of that at all.
Yeah. That's
My
amazing, dude.
My heart rate is totally calm. I feel totally fine, and I feel like that was a profound experience. Extremely profound. I'm excited to explore it more, to be honest.
Right? Now that your feet are wet, you're like, bitch, I want to dive in.
Oh.
Fuck yeah. All right, I'm going to stop this and we'll continue. We'll continue on soon. All right. So there you have it. First little toe dip into the DMT pool. As you heard, the very first part, he was able to talk as soon as he hit it. He said, oh, there's an immediate change. And then he kind of just said, whoa, a couple times, laughed. And then I cut out the rest of it because it was pretty much just silence. But yeah, so that was his first experience. Next was me. Then I did it first. So you'll hear my experience a little bit. I kind of already touched on it. But basically what I was experiencing was the TV. So we were playing music on YouTube through the TV. And so the TV had like an image on it for the music video or whatever. And when I hit it, I sat back, and that image that was on the TV was, when I closed my eyes, it was still, I could still see it. And then it broke apart into a bunch of pieces and started dancing and started doing all kinds of fun stuff. Yeah, so I'll talk about it a little bit. You'll hear it right now. Me kind of get into my experience. And yeah, let's just keep it going. Let's get into it. Definitely close your eyes next time, too.
It's so hard to explain. Right?
Phil, are you recording?
Yeah. Talk about it, man.
I'm not there yet. I just want to fucking make sure, bro. Fuck.
Dude, I'm still not at my right mind.
I'm
right now.
still fucking there, but dude. All right.
Go say, man. What'd you see? What'd you feel?
Hold on, I just want to keep my eyes closed a little longer.
He's not ready. He's not ready yet. He's not all the way out.
Dude, I'm like fucking.
Steady closing my eyes.
He said he didn't even know. Yeah, he was like back and forth, bro. I'm like, damn, that Einstein fucking poster is sick as fuck, by the way. All right, yeah, pause that real quick, Jake. Oh man, dude, I'm still not there yet, dude. All right, so that fucking image, I'm going to try my hardest to describe it, but that image that was on the screen, whatever the fuck image that was, as soon as I closed my eyes, that image was still there, but it started breaking apart and, like, dancing with the music, and that, like, you got to tell me that song, by the way, because that song was fucking sick.
I told you it's a good song, bro.
So it started, like, breaking apart and, like, just kind of dancing with the fucking music. But I was definitely still here in the room. Like, I definitely knew, like, I heard Hector over there. I could tell, like, I knew that I was still in this room. I definitely didn't break through, but I felt so, like, I literally feel like helium kind of just, like, light as fuck, you know, warm, like, oh, man. And as soon as I closed my eyes, like, I tried to keep my eyes open. I don't know if you noticed, but I was, like, trying to keep my eyes open. But then I close my eyes, and that image, even still, like, even now that my eyes are closed, I'm still getting, like, some just kind of patterns, really, colors and shit. Like, it's fucking insane. But the feeling your body gets, like, dude, I know what you feel like.
It's so hard to explain, you know?
Bro, I feel so fucking calm right now, bro. I feel so...
That's what I was trying to tell you. Like, even though me and you share, like, a
So,
common, like, anxiety problem, but... doing this whole experience, like, you feel this sense of calmness.
Dude, I feel so fucking chill right now. I feel like I'm, I don't know. But when I first hit it, I could literally feel my heart, like, like, and that's why I sat back and I took a couple deep breaths, and I was, like, at first trying to fight it, but then once it hit, I was like, just take me, bro. Just take me. And it just fucking took me, dude. That was sick.
It wasn't even 5 seconds before, like, I was sitting down, I was going, oh no, everything's different, you know, like, everything's definitely
I have
different.
such a sense of love right now, man, for all you guys, for fucking chilling with me through that experience. Like,
Bro, you wanna fuck?
yeah, bro. I wanna fucking come. Nah, dude.
Definitely
fuck.
kidding. Joking.
I literally feel like so chill and just relaxed as fuck. Like, what's the best way I can, like, I don't think I've ever felt this way before.
Connected.
Yeah, connected, but in the same way, like, have you ever, like, how do I explain it? Like, right before you fall asleep and you're still awake, but you're, like, just so relaxed and you're just like, take me, and you just fall asleep.
See,
that's
like,
what I feel
like,
right now.
What I would
like,
say
I just
is,
feel
like,
so
right
chill.
now, I feel connected to you, but I don't feel connected to Phil because he hasn't done it yet.
Phil, you're doing it, bro. That's
like,
you
I know,
doing it, bro.
like, I feel that connection
Yeah.
to you right now because we just went through it. But I cannot say that I feel that same feeling about Phil.
So now I understand what you were saying, that I only dipped my toes. Holy fuck. If I
Could
only
you
dip my
imagine?
toes into what I just experienced,
Dude.
there's got to be a whole motherfucking ocean out there to explore.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
I want to. I want to do it again now. I know what you mean. Like, I want to fucking do it again
That's
now.
what I just said. I said the main thing that I feel in my mind right now is
Like,
I
I
want to
wanna-
do it again.
We gotta give it a little time before we do another big dose.
Are you sure?
Dude, I
I mean,
literally...
whatever you want, I'll fire it up for you.
I was gonna ask you, did you like feel your heart like racing?
Yeah, at first.
Because
So,
I could see it.
yeah, so when I
It was like-
first hit it, and I sat back, I could literally, like, and I was like, fuck. I took a couple deep breaths, and then once it started to really hit, I was just like, just take me. Fuck it. Like, I'm in it, so just go. And then as soon as I thought that, it was just like, fuck.
Yeah,
Like,
you was
just-
really nervous at first.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you just started smiling.
Dude, oh, fuck.
I know, and then
wish
we were all like,
hey, We need to. So I
Yeah.
wasn't doing shit though. I was just chilling. Or
You were
what?
like
just,
laughing a little bit.
Was I?
too.
Yeah, you started laughing.
Dude. We need to fucking.
but I
record
could
this
literally see
video.
your chest moving.
Could you like?
Like,
could you-
yeah. I was like, is there like something vibrating in the couch or
But
what?
it was pounding
Yeah.
hard. It was pounding
See,
hard.
that's
But
what scares me.
once it hit me and I felt it come on, I was like, just let it go, and then it was good.
I would really
Phil,
like
you're
to do
fucking-
it again.
It's only 50.
All right. So that was my trip, or I guess that was right after I'd come out. You can tell how hard it is to. In the beginning, I'm still really, really giggly, laughing. I couldn't even talk. I couldn't even try and think about what had just happened. And you can hear me in the beginning of that clip, and it's interesting. It's interesting as I'm listening back to hear how just the gradual progression of coming out of the trip, because at first you can hear how hard it was for me to even really speak or say anything. I was mainly just laughing and kind of trying to process what I had just seen or experienced. And then slowly I kind of am able to find my words a little better and kind of explain as best as I could what had just happened. And so, yeah, that was it. It was a lot of fun. Let's just keep it pushing. So the next one after I did mine was Phill. And he was the first one who kind of, I wouldn't say had a negative experience, but not as positive as me and Jake. He was more felt trapped. You'll hear him explain it in this upcoming clip, but he kind of felt trapped, like he was in some kind of operating room. He couldn't get out. Every time he tried to open his eyes, he was unable to. So he also took 2 hits. He took one kind of smaller hit and sat down for a second and said, no, I don't feel anything. So then I kind of think he didn't wait long enough though, because he might have took a smaller hit, but by the time he was taking the second one, it was probably kicking in. So once he took that second one, it probably hit him really, really hard, harder than he was expecting. So, yeah, let's get into Phil's trip.
You look crazy right now.
I fucking went there, bro.
Yeah, bud.
I fucking went to outer
Hey, I believe Phil
fucking
don't do
space,
nothing.
bro.
Phil has like 1 beer at the bar.
Shut up.
Dude, this was so crazy. Oh my fucking god.
Can you articulate anything?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. Fucking crazy, dude.
Hell yeah. How do you feel right now?
Huh?
Do you feel calm?
I feel good now. Whoa.
Well, you do the rest then.
But it's like, dude, there's like these.
Hold on.
It was like this, like people like pulling me in. It was weird. I still feel it. It's still tingly. It was like fucking somebody was like pulling me. It almost seemed like Asian people. I don't know why, but
Asian people.
it's like
Were they entities?
it was like.
Did you see
Oh my
like?
god, dude, it was
the rig and
weird.
all.
It was like Asian looking. I don't know. I just say Asian, but it
I feel
was like big hands. Like everything is still fucking trippy right now, but there's like big hands like in the corner of my eyes, just like pulling me in, and then like there was like crazy twisting and turning of fucking everything, dude.
I feel like you went deeper than we did.
Oh my god, dude, I went all the way, man.
Yeah.
I went
Phil,
all
you
the
took two
fucking
hits.
way.
Yeah, you took 2 hits. You fucking did it.
The ground is so crazy right now still.
Are you having
It's
any
like
having any
fucking
visuals?
wavy, yeah. It's super
Nice.
cool, dude. It was like, all right. So, I tried. I don't know if I closed my eyes or my eyes were open. Fuck, dude. Everything's
Your
so
eyes were closed the
crazy.
entire time.
Yeah.
And you were taking deep breaths, and you kept saying, "Oh my god."
Not too nuts.
Dude,
hold on.
I'm still in it though. So give me a second, man.
Yeah. It's gonna take a minute. I will just say that while you were gone, you were only gone for one song, which is less than 3 minutes, and you
God,
were taking
dude.
some deep breaths, and you just kept saying, "Oh my god," and then you laughed a little bit.
Yeah, you were like.
Dude, that was. Oh my god, dude. I can't even like. Okay. So it was like this white. It was like I was. Fuck, dude. I was in like this white. Everything was white. Everything was super white. and I feel like they were fucking trying to like, they were trying to show me something or something. I don't fucking know, dude.
Who was?
I know I'm just saying that because I heard that, but I feel like they were trying to show me something. They were like pulling me in. Big hands, I remember that, and I don't know if they had faces or not, but, and then this, the crazy, like, fuck, dude, it was like this pyramid of like fucking going in and out. It was, and every time like I tried to, I don't know if I was opening my eyes, but it just like, every time I'd open them, it would just fucking pull me close, like, pulling me back, like, no, you're not done yet, like, come back, but, dude, that was so crazy. I felt like I was here, but then, and then, that's when I was, like, trying to, like, fight it, I was trying to come back, and I feel like, when I was trying that, that's when they'd pull me away, and I was getting pulled away to somewhere else, I don't fucking know. Dude.
Was there ever a point where you forgot where you were, where it wasn't even...
Dude, I was there, bro, I fucking...
You looked in the door, huh?
Oh, man, I can't even remember that. I'm so fucking pissed that I can't fucking
Dude, I
remember
want to
all
get
of it.
there. I feel like you got way deep. Well, you took 2 hits because you said the first one didn't work, so you took a second one. Jordy just got here.
You ready, Jordan?
Oh, I'm still in it. Dude, but I felt like I was... Like I said, I felt like I was done with the trip, but as soon as I, like, tried to, like, open my eyes, it was, like, pulling me back, dude. It was like, you're not done yet, like...
Every time, like, they were like, we got something to show you.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, bro. Alright.
I don't find joy in
Fuck yeah, bro.
Dude, I wish I could articulate a little better.
Process it some more. What I want to do is podcast all of us afterwards. We all do it.
I felt my body, cause you know when I was like, oh my god, I remember saying that, and that's when it was just like, fucking intense, bro. Like the fucking patterns were fucking crazy.
Oh my god.
The patterns were crazy, bro. It was just nuts.
Literally everything's crazy.
Were you seeing anything that was on the TV, like the image?
Yeah. Well, it was like, I don't know, like I seen the lights. I remember trying to open my eyes and I just seen like the blue light and it's fucking.
Fuck yeah.
Oh my god.
How do you feel right now? Do you feel hella calm and relaxed?
Yeah, dude, I'm good, man.
I felt so calm after.
Dude, I fucking went there, bro. I went to another fucking place. I don't know if it's another fucking, but I felt like I was in this like lab. These Asian people were trying to fucking show me and pull me in, and it was just crazy, dude.
Do you want to do it again?
Not right now, man.
Yeah,
That was.
see,
I
you
think
had
I
fun.
went all the way, bro.
Yeah, you
so
went
I
way
wasn't-
deeper than we did. 'Cause
I wasn't ready for that, but I think it was. Fuck, dude. I wasn't ready because. I don't think I was ready because I didn't get to appreciate it as much as I wanted to.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to sit back and just.
Do you feel like you just needed
I just
to
felt
like
like I
let go
was
more?
just. Yeah, I wanted to. I wanted to just fucking let go, but I felt like, oh, dude, this is so crazy. I felt like weird sensations in my legs. Almost felt like I was peeing my pants. I was like kind of scared that I did.
You were hella rubbing your legs hella much too.
Dude, I felt it like,
Did you?
woo! It felt like super like it was kind of like ecstasy for a second. I don't know. I felt ecstasy for a second. I was like, oh.
You sounded like you were like having sex.
It
I'm
does.
back now though.
Yeah.
Fuck,
It does
dude.
almost feel like
Well, you
orgasmic.
sounded like that.
Yeah, it does kind of feel orgasmic
I
in
was
a way.
like, okay,
oh my
what's
god,
happening?
dude, that was crazy, dude. That was fucking crazy, man. That was fucking crazy. I don't know what I was fucking, dude. I don't know what the fuck that was.
Did you like lose control of your body at some point?
It was like this open area, but then it was like white walls, and then like I said, these people look Asian. I don't know who the fuck they were. I think it was just like the white skin that kind of like, I know like Asian pictures, you know how they have like white skin and like the
Yeah.
paintings. That's kind of what I thought. So kind of like that. I mean,
Kind of like that.
I swear, I'm not lying.
That's creepy.
That might have been, I don't know. Dude, that was so crazy, bro. I was scared. I'm not gonna lie. I was fucking terrified when I first felt it come on me. I was like,
Is your heart still beating
oh
fast?
fuck! And then I tried to release. I tried to let go, and I just fucking like.
Was there a point where it just kind of took over and you just let it
Yeah,
happen?
dude, and I was just like,
I could tell because
Lucy,
at
Lucy,
first you were
fuck,
tense,
dude.
and then you said like, "Oh my god" a couple times, and you took a deep breath, and then you just fucking like got super loose, and that's when you kind of started rubbing your legs a little bit, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, he's fucking feeling it." Like,
Fuck,
yep.
dude, I can still almost see it in my fucking head.
Fuck, we should be recording this in video so you can see what the fuck you were
Nicole
doing.
is.
I am.
Well, you didn't record the trip though, did
Yeah,
you?
dude.
You recorded the whole
I've been
thing.
recording since the
Oh,
first time you
shit.
hit it.
All right,
yeah.
man. You can cut. We'll talk about it later, man.
So there it is. As you can tell, a lot of our experiences were pretty similar. I mean, our experiences in trying to explain what we had just saw was similar, not our experiences themselves. Yeah. I think the next person that did it was Jake again. He did a second trip, which I wanted to do too, but we just, like I said, we didn't have very much DMT. So he did a second trip. I think his second trip was way more intense than the first one. You'll hear him explain it, and he can kind of, you can kind of compare between his first and second trip. But let's just go ahead and jump into that one.
Man. I wish I had, I have no words to describe where I was just now, but...
Hey, do you want to pause it?
I definitely don't have any words for where I thought I was just now, but... the crazy thing is to say, like, the first thing that, like, comes to my mind is, like, I'm glad to see that I have my friends here. I don't know if the, like, is that weird? I don't know, but, like, I'm glad to see, like, fucking, I'm glad to see Jordy. I'm glad to see Dave. I'm glad to see Hector. I'm glad to see Phil. I'm glad to see Sam. Like, I'm just... I don't know, man. I have no idea. Like, I was totally, like, 100% in, like, a different place, a totally different, oh, man. Like, it's so hard to describe it. Like, I was in a totally different reality where none of you guys were there. But now that I'm partially coming to, like, I'm glad to see that, like, I'm so happy to see that my friends are here. I think that's the best thing that I could say is, like, I'm so happy to see, like, coming out of it that my friends are here.
Your eyes were open the entire time.
Don't tell me that. Are you serious? My fucking...
Yeah, you were gone though, but your eyes were definitely open.
But you were gone. You're just kind of like not looking at anything, really.
Yeah.
I also want to note that he didn't want anybody in the room the next time he did it. And
Yeah, the whole
that's
fucking
the
room
first thing that he's
full.
happiest about when he comes out.
Hey, right?
No,
right?
that is true. The first thing that I said before I did it was that I said I didn't want this many people in the room. I said I wanted Jordy, I wanted Dave, I wanted Hector. Like, I don't know. Like, I just wanted, like, the people who I'm familiar with to be here when I did it. But, dude, I don't know, man. It's hard to describe. Like, I mean, all that I can say that right now is, like, wherever it was that I was, like, I'm just super happy to, like, to be coming to right now. Like, I'm so happy that all you guys are here. Like, it makes me, like, I feel so happy and, like, so full of love for all of you. I'm so glad that you're here.
We love you too, Jake.
Love you too, man.
Man, I can't
Was it-
even...
Were you having any negative feelings while you were wherever you were? Or was it all positive?
No. There was no negative feelings.
Mhm.
It was just different.
Yeah.
Like, it was just a whole different, like, reality. Like, I was just in a different place.
Were there any other beings or entities there?
No, I wish that there was.
So what were you doing in the place you were at? Do you know? You're just sitting there?
Just floating?
No, so it definitely wasn't, like, when I was there in that place, like, it was man, it's kind of hard to describe. It's like I was in as dumb as it sounds, like it's almost like I was in a laboratory,
That's how I
but I
felt.
was like trying to figure out how to get out of there.
That's exactly how I felt. I felt like I was on like a fucking
Yeah,
operating chair or something. Like
yeah,
that.
no, it felt like I was in like a medical facility.
Was it white? All white in there?
Yeah, everything was all white,
Yeah.
and it was like I was trying to escape from where I was in. Man, dude, it's so hard to describe.
So you were trying to fight it?
No, I wouldn't say I was trying to fight where I was at, but like, it was like a...
Was it uncomfortable?
No, I would say like, it was almost like going in time with the song. Like, it felt like I was in a music video, but the music video was that I was in like a medical facility, like trying to escape from where I was at.
Yeah.
And like now, the only thing I can really think of is like coming to. Like, I was so happy to see all my friends here. Like, it's like, I wish you guys could have fucking helped me get out of that goddamn medical facility I was at. I don't know why you guys didn't fucking help me. Not that you could have, but holy hell. But at the same time, I can definitely say that like it wasn't like I never felt sad. You know, like I never felt that I was like hectic for sure. Like there was anxiety there, but there was never like I never felt like I was upset about what was happening. It just felt like a puzzle that I had to figure out.
That's interesting.
It's actually kind of weird to think that like now that like I didn't figure out the puzzle.
No.
No.
Did you feel like if you like figured out the puzzle that it would be over and that you would come back? Or because I felt like that when we took 2CI together. I felt like the whole time.
Yeah.
I was seeing all this like crazy fucked up shit, and I was like, I have to figure out what this means, and then I'll
Yeah,
come back.
no, I think that if I would have had figured out the puzzle, like, I would have such a more, like, different, like, feeling of accomplishment, but I don't know, like, I never got to figure out the puzzle. Like, I just kind of snapped out of it.
Were you walking around? Or were you able to like move around?
No, it wasn't,
you kinda
I
just,
wasn't
like,
walking, like, I
looking?
was sprinting.
Oh shit.
I was sprinting, like, I was...
How big was this room? Did it just keep going, or was it like?
Was it infinite?
Yeah, it was like imagine if you go into a hospital, and like it's just like those hallways that just like never ever end, and I was just like constantly like sprinting through these hallways, trying to find the exit, and the exit was just never there.
Was there anything from that experience you could bring back with you and apply to your life?
God damn, I hope not.
Other than the love for your friends?
No, yeah, like that's the biggest thing that I could say is like now coming back, I'm so happy to see the like when I come back, like I have a room full of friends that I love.
Fuck yeah.
And that's about it. Like I wish I could have found the end to the maze, but I didn't.
I've been off for a minute.
But now that you know I'm
like
coming
5
to,
minutes
I'm just so
afterwards,
happy to
okay.
see in my living room these are a bunch of friends that I love. You know, that's about it.
Yeah.
God damn, what was I doing? You know, when I was...
You were literally sitting there taking a couple deep breaths.
Like,
You're just
they were,
taking...
like,
You're literally like...
kind of moving around.
Really?
It was kind of like, yeah, you're looking at stuff.
When you started off, you were just breathing in and out really heavy.
Yeah.
You did close your eyes
You
for a
opened
bit.
your eyes and you were like, it seemed like you were watching the music video, but
I was trying to... My main focus was trying to watch the video, but...
every
Dude,
time I
it
looked at
just-
you, your eyes were open.
It just, like, the video went way far past, but I did hear the song the whole time.
Did you hear the commercial?
No,
There was a commercial in there too.
was there?
There was a Charmin commercial.
I
dude.
tried to skip it. They wouldn't let me fucking skip it. You two guys are shit.
I felt like
No.
when I did it, I think lost
I
the
didn't
music
hear
for
the
a little
commercial.
bit.
I heard the song. I feel like I heard the song the whole time, and I was just like racing like through this maze the whole time, trying to find the exit.
That's so nuts. I felt like I was in like some white facility too. I don't know where I was at.
Yeah, dude, it was the same for me. It was like a hospital.
It was just white walls, and I felt like I was on a chair, and people were trying to fucking touch me or something. I don't know.
Damn, that's so weird.
Who's next? Who's next? Jordy, get it!
I gotta drink water and pee though, because I'm nervous.
All right, so there you go. That was Jake's second trip. Sounds like he had fun. This next one is going to be Jordy. He was the last one to do it. And he probably had the most intense experience out of all of us. Maybe not the most intense experience, but he had the most intense reaction to the DMT. It was a little scary for a second, if I'm being completely honest with you. He had, I want to say he did 2 hits also. I think he took 1 hit, and then he was like, nah, this definitely ain't it. So he took a second one, and then immediately was like, oh fuck, yep, here we go. So I was sitting right next to him, and I was recording a little bit of what was going on, but there wasn't much to record. He was out for the longest. Like I said, most of our trips were about 2 to 3 minutes. His was about double that, maybe 4, 5, 6 minutes. I'm not sure, but it was longer than all of ours. And when I was sitting next to him, I was kind of watching him, and he was just sitting there. I believe his eyes were closed, but he started sweating really, really bad. So I kind of noticed him sweating, and I'm like, okay, fuck, he's probably really, really deep into it. He wasn't moaning or groaning or making any weird noises. But then towards the end of the trip, he started gulping and swallowing really hard. And so I think I kind of just put my hand on his leg and just, hey, Jordy, how you feeling? Are you all right? I kind of just wanted to bring him back down a little bit. I figured that he was probably really deep into space. And so I was hoping that, maybe me touching his leg a little bit and kind of saying, hey, Jordy, that would bring him back down, which it did, thankfully, because as soon as I did that, he told me immediately, he's like, I'm going to throw up. So luckily we had a trash can right there. So we grabbed a trash can, and he barfed up a ton. And that pretty much ended his trip, was that throwing up. Like I said, he was sweating insanely. He was soaking wet. It was pretty intense. I'm not gonna lie, but overall, it sounded like he had a pretty good trip. I don't know. It sounded really similar to mine though. It was mostly visual, mostly patterns and colors. There wasn't any really room or place that you were stuck in or you weren't trying to escape. It was just kind of like, a cool show to watch. Which, like I said, sounded similar to mine. So let's go ahead and jump into it.
I have never been so fucking drenched in sweat in my life. Oh my god.
Yeah, you were really sweating tough.
Like you was saying before, like it's such a transformative experience.
Holy shit. I definitely, I didn't go to, a fucking white room, that's for damn sure.
Where'd you go, dude? You were gone for a minute.
I didn't go I wasn't...
Were you still in the room?
No, there was no room, there was no anything, it was just all, in my head, and it was literally, fuck, dude, I don't know, it's hard to put words on it, but...
That seems like what everybody says. It's hard.
It was just crazy ass visuals, man. I've taken fucking acid. I've taken all kinds of shit, and that was just intense ass visuals the whole time. And I kept
Is that what?
Was the visual that you saw? Was it like geometrical? Like was
Kind of, yeah. It started off like it took the colors like from this like video or whatever, and then it was just like spiraling and doing all kinds of shit. Because I remember like the last like image that I had while I was here, like in the room or whatever, was of this fucking ceiling fan, and it went like. It got really black and white, and I remember Hector like dancing or some shit over here.
Yeah, I tried to calm him down. He wouldn't listen.
And then it just started like spiraling from there. Like I
Is that what made you nauseous?
I don't know if like that's what made me nauseous. I was sweating so fucking profusely. Like I could tangibly feel myself sweating like fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like super fixated on that, and then I don't know, when I hit a certain point and I could feel like you probably saw me like gulping super fucking hard.
I heard you swallowing, and that's why I asked him, like, "Are you all right, dude?" And you're like, "I'm gonna throw up." So
yeah, because it was building up, and then like that.
I could hear you swallowing because I was right next to you. And
yeah,
I'm like, oh shit.
It's probably
the second you said that, it just fucking let it out, dude. Like
I definitely saw that because me and you have done drugs together so many times. Like I saw the gulping, but I know that's a 50-50 shot. Like those gulps could be one thing.
No, I know. And I was like, I knew I was going to. It was just like I'm trying to fight this off as long as I can because I didn't want to. But then once you said that, I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'm
trying to. You had that little trash can right here too, dude. So I'm like, fuck it, yep. There you go, dude.
I saw him sweating. I was like,
I didn't see you sweating, but
dude, I was sweating like
I made
profusely the whole time.
You're
my shirt is like
bad.
drenched in fucking
you're
sweat
still
right
sweating
now,
pretty
dude.
bad.
out for like 4 minutes, dude.
You were out for longer
Dude,
than
yeah,
either
and
one
that's
of
I
us.
kept thinking that too. I was like, "Fuck, dude, this feels like longer than
Forever.
like that was so crazy." And I kept thinking that like, "Oh fuck, dude, am I stuck here right now? Like, am I stuck in this?" Because like,
did you feel like you needed to escape?
not really. Like it. I mean,
were you comfortable there?
when the thought went to, "Yes, you are going to fucking be here forever," I was like, "Fuck," I was not okay with that whatsoever. But then when I would be like, "No, you're okay, you know what you're doing, like this is fine, you're gonna be over it," and that's
But
like,
what visuals, like what scenario did you find yourself in?
there is no like tangible thing that you've ever seen that I could like describe to you. Like there's it's
was it like patterns and shit?
it was
like,
patterns and crazy like geometrical shapes and shit. And then when I would open my eyes, it would like take like another snapshot almost, and it would fucking like it would go into a whole nother series of visuals based on that snapshot of like what I had opened my eyes and seen. Like it was fucking weird. And
that's
then
what I felt too.
It just like right before I puked, it started to like kind of make sense a little bit, and then when I started puking, it was just like a bunch of like geometrical like shapes and shit. Like just
you were just puking rainbows.
It was literally like the second I let it out, it just like was this explosion of like, dude, it was fucking crazy.
I think that has a lot to do with the fact that like you took one hit that didn't hit you that much.
No, and that was the thing too, is like when I like.
Once you took the second hit, I think it took you to a whole nother place.
No, dude, like, cause the first one, like, I'm dead serious when I say like I was fine on the first one. Like I felt like I was like I took like an acid hit or something, and I was waiting for it to hit me, but and I was kind of seeing like shapes and shit, and like it felt like 2CI almost when we first did it, and you would see shit kind of like an 8-bit. It was like really like fuzzy, and everything was kind of
like particulate.
Yeah, exactly. And then but that was it.
That's how I felt.
And then the second, like as I exhaled and handed the fucking pipe.
You were like,
do you remember what you said?
I was like, yeah, no, I was
all
like,
right, that was the one, dude.
Like, there we fucking go, because
there we
I
go.
knew it instantly. I was like, holy shit, because like the first hit, I was like, what the fuck? There's no way this is what they're talking about. Like I've done like this is weak as fuck. And then that second one, I was like, okay, no, that's what I was expecting. Like, so
how do you feel right now?
I feel fine right now. I feel fucking. I don't.
What emotions are you feeling right now?
Do you feel like any sense of like positivity or?
I mean, yeah, I feel good. Like I feel like I'm definitely fucking in a way better mood than I was before I did it.
Hell yeah!
But
hey, so reflecting back on the anxiety you had before, what do you think about that?
I mean, I think the anxiety I had before is based on what it's usually always based on, is like getting stuck in whatever I'm doing.
Do you think it's the unknown though that you had so much anxiety about?
Kind of, but like, I don't know. I've done like some crazy shit before, and I've had really fucking bad trips.
Yeah,
like,
I've done a lot of fucked up drugs.
so like I didn't expect it to be like that.
So you guys have
But-
been to the dark side and back, huh?
Oh, for
we've
sure.
been
Like-
way deep in the dark side,
Yeah, like-
bro.
Like literally calling family members and telling them I'm gonna die and like fucked up.
Fuck.
So yeah, but I don't know. It definitely was nothing like what you guys described. There was no white room, there was no puzzle, there was no running, I wasn't even a physical being. I was just whatever, like floating through these
Like,
crazy fucking
consciousness, basically, like.
Yeah, and I had no, like, there was no body of myself in
you're
there.
this,
It was just
right.
like, yeah,
Your
like,
consciousness flows.
yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So you completely broke into another plane of just like, it had nothing to do with being in the human plane. Like you were.
Yeah, no, I was gone. Like,
You were in a totally different place.
and like I knew, like I kept telling myself, like while I was in it, I was like, okay, like you're going for this ride, like you're not fucking getting out of it, like just let it happen.
Yeah.
And
let go, kind
I
of.
told myself, like, if more than like 10 minutes go by, then maybe start fucking freaking the fuck out. But
Yeah.
like, no, I knew that eventually it would end. I didn't expect it to really end the way that it did. It was pretty fucking abrupt.
That's
Like,
dude. That's the same thing that I was saying. The second time that I did it, like I felt like I was in this whole scenario in my own head, but then it just ended. It was done.
yeah, like when I first opened my eyes and I like laid back right here, I was still seeing like a kind of like a little bit of like particulates and shit, and then like after like a few seconds, I was just back, and I don't know. That's weird.
You were out for the longest. I can
Yeah,
say
you
that.
were out for longer than anybody
I
else.
felt like I was out for fucking hella long, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I lost like a good 2.5 pounds of water weight.
You were
just now,
sweating.
dude.
Yeah, go
Jesus
dry yourself
Christ.
off a little bit, dude, because you're
Sorry,
sweating
Paul.
hella bad.
I also felt you fucking lick my hand. Like I fucking knew you
we
would.
tried to pull her away from you too, but she was in it with you,
We
bro.
made our best effort to keep her away from you, but
Whew.
Try.
Oh, Jordy.
Hey, Jordan,
Yes.
are you glad that you fucking did it though?
I am for sure. Mostly just because like it's always been like one of those bucket list drugs for me or whatever. And
you don't feel like you had any like, you didn't make any kind of breakthrough.
Not really, dude. Like the whole time I was so fixated on like what was happening both with me and my body outside of what I was seeing, because I knew I knew like, okay, I'm still a conscious being because I'm fucking sweating profusely and
Yeah.
souls traveling through
You
fucking
feel that
planes don't
physicality,
feel
but
that,
like
so.
for me, like when I came to, like I was just so happy to see my friends all around me.
I mean,
And
I'm
I
glad.
felt-
I'm glad to be in a room of people and not just like doing it in my room by myself, because I feel like that would have been a much worse way to come out of that. But like,
Yeah,
Do you think that it was difficult for you to completely let go? Like you still were holding on to your.
I feel like I was holding on only because like mostly I felt myself like starting to puke, and so I was like, fuck, like I don't know, I felt like if I had released the vomit like midway that it was gonna like.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird. I felt like it was either gonna like make me like come out of it immediately or something like that. So I was trying to like not let that happen. I was like, no, I gotta fucking get in this or whatever. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah, you were able to control yourself.
Yeah. Because like I said, as soon as I heard you like gulping and swallowing, I'm like, how you doing, dude? And you're like,
yeah,
I'm gonna puke. I'm like,
I've
fuck.
See, that's why, like, that's a point that me and Jordan have been together on before. So, like, I knew that he was, like, in that
I'm a
50-50.
I'm a professional at vomiting.
It's like, this it may or
Not
may
just
not
for
happen.
I've got so much fucking practice.
Yeah.
Man.
Sweet, man. We did it. We did it. DMT episode podcast getting released soon. You guys better fucking tune in. So there you have it. Those are all of our experiences. I think Jake actually did one more little one after that. But something must have happened with the recording. I don't even remember if I recorded it or not. He did another. We had all stepped outside, and while we were gone, he wanted to do one with nobody else, or maybe one other person in the room. So that's what he did. And I don't even remember if we recorded it or not afterwards. But yeah, that was pretty much our first DMT experience. Like I said, I'm looking forward to, trying it again, doing a little bit more spiritual work. But I think it was good to be, I really think that for the first experience, being around people that I trusted and being in kind of like a chill, laid back environment really helped with just kind of, because it's such an intense experience, it's such a crazy thing that being around my friends and being in a kind of a laid back, environment really helped with the nerves and the anxiety and kind of being able to let go. Because that's the most important thing when it comes to psychedelics is you have to be able to let go and not control it. The more you try and control it, the worse the experience is going to get. And that's a big source of most quote-unquote bad trips, is that people get freaked out and they try and stop it or try and control the trip, and it just gets worse. So I think it was good overall. Overall, I had a good experience. I think what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to release this in 2 parts because I still have another whole podcast recorded with Phill later that night about everything. So I think what I'm going to do is release this in 2 parts. This is going to be part 1, obviously. This is kind of the raw footage of the DMT experience. And then part 2 will be an actual sit-down style conversation podcast with Phill about all that, about everything. So, yeah, stay tuned for part 2. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that people get out there and try this. I don't think that it's for everybody, for sure. I don't think that it's, if you don't want to do it or you don't have any desire to, don't let your friends peer pressure you into doing it, because it's probably not for you. But I do think it is, it's a beneficial experience to have, I believe. As you've probably heard from my other podcast, I'm a big proponent of exploring your mind, I guess would be the best way to put that. And psychedelics are a good tool to do that with, on top of many, many others. So, yeah, that was part 1 of our DMT experience. Like I said, thanks for listening. Thanks for waiting. I know to Jordy and Jake and everybody that was involved, they've been hitting me up. Hey, when's that episode coming out? They've been really anxious. So here you go, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for part 2. Peace.